Hello everybody, welcome to another video. Today it's a very happy day for me because a few days ago I found these two fridges on the side of the road, and I took them because they have a lot of copper in them. Fridges are loaded with copper inside. And then there's this motor here. This motor here it has a lot of copper inside. So for those of us that do scrapping, we always want fridges. Because fridges, like microwaves for example, are loaded with copper. So we always gotta want them. Inside of these fridges, between the walls, there's plastic. It's styrofoam. There's a lot of styrofoam inside, but everything else is metal. This is steel, this is steel, this metal here, I'm not sure what this is. I'll actually check it now. But this is a magnet. It's magnetic. This is steel. So everything else is steel, but this here is the beating heart of the fridge. This is the motor. Fridges are a bit tricky because inside they have a gas, and you don't want to be breathing in the gas because it can be harmful, and it will be harmful. You have to disconnect these copper cables from the rest of the fridge. You do have to be careful, however, that there might be some gas coming out. And of course you don't want to be breathing it in. The proper way to do these is you call a professional, someone that's licensed, to disconnect this. Because what he can also do is, he can, whatever gas is still trapped inside, he can drain it, and then it is safe to disconnect. And then you disconnect it and take it out. And so I'll show you how to take this apart. But before that, coffee is priority. One of the first things that you want to get from these fridges is the cable itself. Now, like I said, these fridges are full of copper, and the wire itself is made of copper. This here sometimes is brass, or some of the times is brass plated with aluminium. Me personally, I don't see the point in that. So you want to get the wire first. Then, once that's done, you want to disconnect these cables. Then once that's done, underneath there should be 4 screws that hold this motor in on the fridge. So once you undo these 4 screws, then the whole thing is out. And this motor here, this is basically a steel casing, and inside there's a copper motor. This thing is heavy. So this is basically what you want. And then inside of the fridge, around the fridge, there are copper cables as thick as this that you can also get. But here's the thing, some people sometimes say that it's just too much aggro, you know, to break these and then get the copper and then crack these open, because this is steel, and then take the motor. Me personally, I have a different opinion. I believe that when it comes to copper, it's always worth it. So it's a shame for this fridge though, because it looks brand new, but because it's on the side of the road, there's something definitely wrong with it. That's why it was there. And this one here is a lot older. And the same process goes for this one. The same process goes for all fridges. That's how you basically want to disconnect them. But first you want to make sure that there's no gas left inside. Or if, for example, if you have a fridge and it packs up and it no longer works and you want to scrap it, what you want to do is you want to disconnect it and leave it for a few days for the gas to dissipate, and then you do this. You don't want to do it right away. I found these on the side of the road. For some reason, lately I've been finding a lot of scrapped old appliances that nobody wants anymore, so they just dump them on the side of the road. It's a bad thing, but at the same time it's also a good thing. It's good for me because I get to take precious metals out of them. But it's bad in another way because it costs the council a lot of money, because this is fly tipping. It's illegal and it costs them way too much money to deal with it. So in a way it's bad, but then again in another way it's good. It's good for someone like me that does scrapping. So basically this is how you do it. You take this motor out. This thing is very heavy. Now this is a very common sight. If you, for example, you're driving down the road and you see fridges exactly like this without the motor. So now you know what that means. That means that someone took it because there's value in that. As for the rest of the fridge itself, they don't want to go through the trouble of cracking it open to get the rest of the copper. So then inside there's a lot of plastic, but then between the plastic and the metal you have styrofoam, and inside the styrofoam there's other bits of copper cables that you can also get to. And then once you get everything out, all the precious metals that you want, you know, copper, then you can scrap the whole thing. But take it to a scrap yard. Don't just dump it on the side of the road. You can actually make some money off of the steel, because everything else is steel. And then the same thing for the other one. Same exact process for this other fridge. And the same thing goes for fridges, freezers, fridge freezers, whatever. But you have to be careful because of the gas. Remember the gas. I think it's ammonium. Sometimes it's ammonium, sometimes it's something else. But independently of what it is, you want to bear that in mind. You don't want to breathe it in. So once you got what you need, then you cut this open. But before you do, there's oil inside of these that you have to drain first. So you get yourself a drill or something to drill a hole and drain the oil inside. So once that's drained, you can cut this open and take the motor out. And the motor has a lot of copper. And then you get the cable and everything else, and then everything else is steel. You just scrap it. Always be mindful of that gas. Use a mask or a respirator. A respirator is even better to protect yourself from that deadly gas. It can be deadly. It can actually kill you instantly if you breathe too much of it in. These are a very good source of copper for us that do scrapping. So this is it for this video. Leave a like if you wish. Leave a comment. Give me your thoughts. Tell me what you think. Whatever. This is a big community. You know, scrapping community. Scrapping slash metal smelting. Scrapping slash metal smelting. That's it. It's a big community. It's only growing, and this is how it is. Please let me know what you think. Leave a comment, leave a like, share if you must, and that's it for this video. Everybody, thank you for watching.